to build a big business. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a virtual round of applause to Mr. and Mrs. Cinco and Angela Smith. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, are you there?
Yes,
hey,
yes.
We're here.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear. The call is yours.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, hang tight. Let us know if you can see this screen. Can you see our screen?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen.
I'm going to turn the camera off. We don't want to distract anybody. And all right, so let's go ahead and get into it. You guys, if you don't know who we are
Mr.
and Mrs.
Smith. And in this presentation, look, what we really want to do is just kind of express the importance of the power of what you have with the MyCredit system. If you have not dove into the MyCredit system, we'll let you know what all you need to know as it pertains to the MyCredit system. In brief, initially starting with MyEcon, it was just all about us understanding the strategies, getting out of debt. We really didn't focus on credit because the income shifting kind of positioned us to have great credit anyway. So we understood what it meant to have 800 plus credit scores and buy a home effortlessly just because of using the strategies. But once we got exposed to this information, it was just a light bulb that went off, because not only does it show people how to better their own credit, it positions them and segues them into understanding income shifting and what MyEcon has to offer as a whole. So I love it as a foundational piece to what it does to people who want to know how to restore and maintain their credit without having to worry or be at the mercy of someone else.
So listen, you guys, with the MyCredit system, keep in mind, you're going to be able to take your personal credit to the next level, and you're also going to be able to educate other people. Start with your family, your friends, and get everybody in the motion of better credit. So let's go ahead and dive right in. First, we want to hit you with some facts, okay? At the end of the day, everybody is interested in credit, okay? Over 68 million people have bad credit, but watch this, 40 million more have an error on their reports. In 2018, the credit industry was a $3 billion industry, billion with a B. 79% of those who disputed errors on their report were successful in removing them. Listen, y'all, 1 in 5 people have an error on their credit report. And at the end of the day, everybody wants good credit. Whether you think you're going to use it or not, we all want good or great credit.
So let's talk about the credit score. What is a good credit score? And many people, if we were to ask you right now, what is a good credit score, you will probably know. So best credit is 800 to 850. So the credit score does go up to 850. Excellent credit, 750 to 799. Good credit is 700 to 749. Fair credit is 650 to 699. Poor credit, 600 to 649. And just bad credit altogether is 300 to 599. So everybody starts off with 300 points, and we'll dive into the details of that. Listen. So once you understand this, you understand that you're not chasing all 850 points. If you take that 850, subtract 300, it's 550 points that are available to build your credit score. So all you're after is 550 points. So you got to treat credit like a game. How can you accumulate the most amount of points in order to make your credit excellent or in the best position? So all you're chasing is 550 points. So let's talk about how to do it.
So listen to what he just said. You basically get 300 points for just signing your name. Is that what you just said?
That's exactly what I said.
All right, y'all, let's get into the whole score. See, because there are 5 factors that make up what's called your FICO score, okay? You have payment history, which is 192.5 maximum points. That's 35% of your score. You have credit utilization, which is 165 points. That's 30%. So guys, these 2 factors alone is a big bulk, over half of your score. You have credit history, which is 15%. That's 82.5 maximum points. New credit, which is 10%, that's 55 points. And then credit mixture, 10%, which is also 55 max points.
So let's talk about the first one. This is the one that takes up 35% of your score. And a lot of people spend a lot of time on payment history, and I understand it because it is a big bulk of your credit score, but stick around and you'll see that all 5 factors matter. This is just the first one. So payment history, the solution to that is 4 letters. Now, what is payment history? Just so we don't assume that everybody knows what payment history is. Basically, it's the historical record of how you've made payments on time, over time. So if you've made good payments on time, over time, then your payment history will reflect it, and it will take up a huge portion of that 35%, meaning that you'll be able to accumulate the 192.5 points that are available in the form of payment history. However, if it's been some hiccups along your journey of restoring your credit, then your payment history will also reflect it. So how do we solve that problem? Well, the FCRA has allowed for us as individuals to protect ourselves from those big creditors who are really in control of the credit for the most part. So we're able to use 4 letters, and these are out of the 609 letters. These 4 letters are getting the job done all across America. So the solution to payment history, if you have poor payment history, are these 4 letters. Number 1 is the debt validation letter. You see, the debt validation letter, basically the FCRA states that you have a right to request that everything that you have on your credit is valid. So you have to dispute it and just make sure that the things that they have on their end is valid. Number 2, the method of verification letter. The method of verification letter is basically the FCRA stating that they have to validate the method to which the debt was verified. So what that means is when you send out that debt validation letter, if they validate the fact that the debt is yours, you want to know what method they use to verify that debt. Number 3, the violation of the FCRA rights. This is a letter that you mail off to indicate that they may have violated your rights if you see anything that is incorrect. And last but certainly not least, the intent to litigate letter. And basically that's you saying that you want to sue. But most of the time when you go through these letters, you won't even make it to number 4 because number 1, 2, and 3 gets the job done. And most things end up having to come off of your credit report, which reflects in a positive payment history or increase in your credit because of your payment history looking better.
Yeah, and what you guys got to understand is this complete process could take anywhere from 30 to 120 days to complete. There are additional letters that's included in the MyCredit system, such as goodwill letters, pay for delete, medical bill, tax liens. There's a whole slew of letters that you have access to as an associate.
Gotta love it. Number 2, this is our favorite one, credit utilization.
Now, credit utilization, you guys, I'll teach you an easy way for you to remember this, okay? It is you utilizing your credit, okay? How about that? We're mostly talking about credit cards when we're talking about credit utilization. See, what you got to understand is that most credit repair companies ignore this area. And I'll tell you why. Because credit utilization is 100% on you. They can't help you. Credit utilization is up to you. You as the individual being responsible, okay? So credit utilization, again, is 30% towards your credit score. Some of the ways that you can actually keep your credit utilization low is with debt elimination, okay? We know that MyEcon has a phenomenal debt elimination tool, debt elimination plan that can help you to keep your credit utilization very, very low. The credit utilization is the ratio basically of your outstanding credit card balances to your credit card limits, okay? So you got to understand the two. It measures the amount of your credit limit that you are using, okay? So for example, if your balance is $300 right now on your credit card and your credit limit is $1,000, then your credit utilization for that card is 30%, okay? Now, experts do say that 30% is ideal, but we're gonna tell you, and MyEcon is going to tell you, the lower, the better. If you can get that bad boy in a single digit, that will do wonders for your credit, okay? So some of the ways that you can fix your credit utilization is you either pay down debt, you can increase your credit limit, or you can get new credit. Now, increasing your credit limit, you guys, listen, okay? I need you to come close. We do not recommend you increase your credit limit if you have poor credit. Okay, a lot of times your credit card companies, they're probably going to tell you no anyway. But if you're responsible, if you're disciplined, increasing your credit limit, sometimes it's just a matter of you making a phone call, asking if they can raise your limit. See, what that does for the balance that you have is it raises your credit utilization, okay? So you're keeping that as low as possible, okay? So you either pay down your revolving debts or you increase the limit. If you have bad credit, again, increasing your limits is not going to be the best solution for you, okay? So look at these 3 solutions. Take a screenshot of it because this is going to help you to keep that utilization as low as possible.
Absolutely. And if you haven't already experienced it, if you're just doing good by making payments on time, a lot of times those entities, the banks, will increase the limit for you. You'll realize that you had a $5,000 balance and then they jumped it up to $10,000. Yes. That doesn't mean use all of it. That just means benefit from the credit utilization that it afforded you, because now your percentage to which you were using that credit just went down. So you may have went from having 20% utilized to under that 10%, which we recommend. Next up is the third factor, which we love, and it's credit history. So this is basically, if a person has been using their credit over time, they will develop some form of credit history. So age kind of plays a part in credit history. Most people who are just getting into credit, they don't have any history because they haven't been using it. It's not a bad thing. You just have to figure out how to go about obtaining some credit history in order to benefit from this factor, because it is a factor that matters. So what's the solution? What if you don't have any credit history or your credit history is poor based on poor decisions? The solution to credit history is becoming an authorized user. And what we personally recommend is that you find a relative or a friend with good credit card history. Good history is the key factor, because what happens is when you are allowed to be an authorized user, you are also affected by their good and bad decisions as it pertains to their credit. So you want it to be somebody who has maintained good history with their credit. And there are a lot of different options out there, things that people do, but we personally recommend for different reasons using a relative or a friend. Now, this is what you have to do. You just ask them to be added to their account as an authorized user. And I know many people may be thinking, why would anybody want to add me as an authorized user? They don't want to take their risk. Well, this is the magic. The car owner does not have to give you a card. So if they know that they're adding you to their card as an authorized user, but they don't have to give you a card, then there's no way that you can run up their credit or mess up, destroy their credit. It's still all on them. They just added you as an authorized user. You were able to benefit from their good payment history, their utilization. All things are affected, and you will inherit that payment history. So if you don't have much credit history or you just want to acquire some, an authorized user is the solution.
All right, so I have a trick question for everybody on here, okay? What is the minimum age of an authorized user that you can add on your account? Do you know? Some of y'all are saying 18, some of y'all are saying 15. Well, guess what? It depends on that credit card company. For some of them, there's no minimum age. So we can literally put our 5-year-old twins on our credit card as an authorized user right now and go ahead and start building their score. While other companies, there is a minimum age. So you have to actually look into your particular company to see what that minimum age is. But again, do not add anyone onto your account as an authorized user if you yourself are not disciplined, if you yourself don't have good payment history, low utilization, because all of that matters. You would hate to add somebody on your account as an authorized user and then you just aid in that score, keep on dropping, right? We want to make sure that if we're adding someone, that we're actually helping them out. And if you're being added, the same thing, all right? Let's go to the next one. The next one is new credit, all right? 10% of your score. Now, the solution for this one is adding trade lines, okay? One of the things that you can do is department store cards. But again, you guys, I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over. Credit is a lot about discipline, okay? So again, if you're not going to be disciplined, I would not recommend you applying for any type of department store cards, okay? We don't want anything to hurt you more than it actually helps you, okay? Number 2 is a secured credit card. Now, I really like secured credit cards. You put your own money up, okay? You put up anywhere from $500 to $1,000 minimum on a secured card, and you can use that to build your credit, okay? Number 3 is rental history. Now, I know y'all have seen on the homepage of your MyEcon website, under the products, we now have the rent reporting. And I just think that it is so amazing, because if you don't have a home, if you're not buying a home right now, that rental history is everything. If you've been renting for the last 2 years, the fact that they can go back the previous 2 years and report to Experian and Equifax is amazing. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you don't have that, if your rent is not being reported, you plan yourself. Go ahead and get that as soon as possible, and make sure that you purchase it through your MyEcon website. Okay, the next thing is the credit builder loan. This is probably going to be one of your better options, okay? The reason is the bank is actually helping you out with this one. The bank opens up a CD in your name for $500 to $1,000. And what they do is they freeze the CD, okay? The CD, certificate of deposit, and they freeze that CD in your name. And they charge you monthly payments for this until your balance is completely paid off. Your payments are reported to the credit bureaus, and then after it's paid off, the bank unfreezes the CD, and voila, you also have 1/3 of your emergency fund, which is step number 2 of the personal cash flow plan in MyEcon, okay? So you want to make sure, if you're trying to build your credit, you look into getting a credit builder loan, because it can help you tremendously.
All about solutions. I love it. I love it. See, we put you in a position of power. A lot of times when you deal with these credit experts, these gurus and specialists, they're not going to position you to be in power and provide you with all of the solutions so you can do it for you and teach someone else in your family. So let's talk about the last factor, credit mixture. And this is what you got to understand about credit mixture. You see, the solution to having credit mixture is 2 things. But before I list those 2 things verbally, credit mixture is just basically having diversification in your credit. Most people won't diversify income. Most people won't diversify investments. The same is true about credit. You want to have a mixture of a combination of things in order to ensure or prove that you are great with handling credit. That's all it says. They say, can this person handle number 1, revolving debt, which is credit cards? Can this person handle number 2, installment debt, which is your loans, the auto loans, the mortgages? That's installment debt. Can you handle both? If so, then it's reflected on your credit. So the solution for having credit mixture is applying for credit, similar to what we just talked about with new credit. But this is what you got to understand. We put this last because it's the last or the smallest percentage. But if you handle 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is payment history, credit utilization, credit history, as well as new credit, if you handle those, you will already have credit mixture. So once you complete those first 4 credit scoring factors, you will already have that credit mixture. Now, this is the formula that you want to aim for. 3 active revolving, which is those credit cards, 3 active revolving to 1 installment is the ideal mixture. So that's about 3 credit cards and a mortgage, 3 credit cards and an auto loan. You know, that's the ideal mixture. So if you got a good combination of good history, then it'll prove that you're able to handle all forms of credit, no matter what they throw at you.
Yes, most definitely. All right, so let's talk about this offering, okay? This is our unique selling proposition. Okay, if you go to the MyCredit system on your MyEcon website, or if you're talking about our do-it-yourself credit repair system to a potential client or customer of yours, this is what we have to offer. Okay, 26 do-it-yourself videos. These videos are really short, sweet, to the point. I literally binge watched these videos when we came out with the MyCredit system, because these videos are only 3 to 5 minutes in length. We have 4 rounds of dispute letters. Now, when you see these gurus and you see these credit specialists, all you hear them talk about is removing things off of your report, removing things off of your report. All they're doing is using the dispute letters, you guys. This is your opportunity to cut out the middleman. It won't take as long if you do it yourself. This is another thing that Marcus loves to say all the time. If you're paying somebody hundreds of dollars a month to repair your credit, do you think they're going to do it for you fast, or they're going to do it to you slow? Do it for you slow so that they can continue to get paid month after month after month. You know the answer to that one, okay? The next thing that we have is the income shifting strategy, you guys. What I love is that we're not just credit. We're not just the W-4. We're not just debt elimination. We're everything all in one. This is what makes MyEcon. This is what has us killing the game right now, is our income shifting strategy. Is none like it. They can try it, but they can't touch it. The debt elimination software, you guys, our debt elimination software allows you to plug in your numbers. One of the top things that I always recommend is this: if you want to get out of debt, you must know your numbers. You need to know what's coming in, your income, what's going out in expenses, in leisure, okay? You got to know exactly what you're doing. And if you want to be debt-free, you need to plug in all of your numbers and find out your debt freedom date. The next thing is minimizing your expenses, you guys. It's very important for us to understand the difference between wants and necessities. Reestablish your credit sources. We give you some very, very valuable information, where to go and find the best credit cards and the best credit builder loan programs. That's included in the MyCredit system. Then you have the investment calculator. Listen, once your credit has been fixed and you have become debt free, the next step is financial freedom. That is investing, you guys, really building your future, really, really securing that foundation, okay? And then the last thing, the business opportunity. You can change your credit with our program, but you can change your life with the business opportunity. You can earn a few $100s a month, or you can earn a full-time income helping others with their credit. So the choice is all yours.
I love it. So you can empower yourself and then empower yourself more just by sharing the opportunity with others. Let's talk more about the opportunities, the MyCredit system and the affiliate position that goes along with it. You see, as a MyEcon system affiliate, you become an associate with MyEcon, which is the personal financial company. Your enrollment cost is just $49.95, which is the one-time payment, and $34.95 per month. Now, I want to just kind of briefly elaborate on that. $49.95, people spend that in the drive-thru sometimes. Sometimes people spend that and don't even miss it. So to invest this into yourself, it just makes sense. But here's more sense. It costs you a lot more than $49.95 and $34.95 a month if you have poor credit, meaning that you're going to overpay in interest. You're going to get all types of things that are charging more just because you have bad credit. Sometimes it keeps you from getting certain jobs and promotions due to having poor credit. And you investing $49.95 into yourself and $34.95 a month allows you to minimize the overhead that you will pay from having poor credit. Plus, there's no quotas, no sales, hassles, hidden fees, things of that nature. What you get, and there's no experience required. Everything is digital, and there's no inventory, so you don't have to worry about storing anything your storage room, things of that nature. And every customer receives their own private portal. So they'll get access without you. So if you expose them to it and they get their own username and password, guess what? They have their own portal that shows them step-by-step exactly. You refer customers, you get great income because you've experienced the product yourself through that's required in order to build your own credit. So make more of an advocate for the product so you can refer customers and get great income. Pretty much that simple.
All right, this is what you got to understand, you guys. Credit repair is a hot trend. It's the beginning of the year. All I keep saying down my timeline are New Year's resolutions. You know, I'm going to get that house. I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to repair my credit, right? You got to understand, I said in the beginning that credit in 2018 was a $1 billion industry. So this is what you have to understand. When customers purchase the membership, you earn upfront and residual income. You earn $10 on the first affiliate membership plus a 5% income match. You can get up to $40 on each personal membership, starting with the second membership sales. And you get $30 on each team membership sales. Not to mention $8 monthly residual income on the membership renewals. See, here's what you got to understand. You can sell the credit repair system by itself if you want to. You can get some CV, great. But if you sell the membership, you got to understand that credit is one thing, but people need everything else, especially if they're trying to buy a home. So you have to get that debt down. You got to understand, you know, that income to debt ratio that they're looking for. You got to have money. You got to have cash flow. When we purchased our property, we were hit with all types of things, the closing costs, the inspection, the down payment, right? You need cash flow. So why not, alongside bettering your credit, you also do what you have to do to earn some additional income, get you some residuals coming in so that you do have the upfront money to put up when it's time for you to purchase that home.
Love it. So let's talk about the leverage compensation. You see, it's power and leverage. When you do something by yourself, it's only a certain amount that you can do because it all rides on you. But with leverage compensation, it allows you to acquire a team. So now that you have a team, you're able to earn when other people earn and you're earning together. That's the core of leverage. Other people are using leverage, and they say if you're not using leverage, then the chances are you are someone else's leverage. So let's talk about leverage income briefly as it relates to this system. With leverage compensation, just imagine if you were to bring in 6 weekly affiliates. That's a pay of $240 per week. Affiliates, if you average that 6 per week, it's 300 affiliates on your team, which will turn into a monthly residual of $2,100. Let's move further. 20 affiliates per week, weekly pay, $800. 1,000 affiliates on your team for that year, which is $8,000 in monthly residual, 6-figure income. Let's say you brought in a team of 100 people a week, you and your team, not just you. Remember, we're talking about leverage here. That's $40,000 in weekly pay, or $4,000 in weekly pay, $5,000 in yearly affiliates as your total, $4,000 a month. People in the company that are making that happen. The weekly affiliates, if you were to bring in 250, would turn to $10,000 in weekly pay for a grand total of $12,500 a year in affiliates and basically $100,000 per month. So set your goals big, put your goals out there and see who it is that needs what it is that we have. Because I promise you, either people want to better their credit or they know people who do. Either people want to better their credit or they want to make money off of the $1 billion credit industry. So you feed into what it is that they want and you get compensated in the process. Now let's talk about the product sales as it relates to the commission. You can market at the retail price of $119.95, which is how much it costs for a person to get the MyCredit system standalone, and you'll earn up to $50 on personal retail sales. Or your team can market at the retail price. Remember, we're talking leverage here. And as it's $119.95, you earn up to $17.50 on team retail sales. So you get upfront weekly income and compounded residual income, plus the smart cash flow strategies. It just makes financial sense all across the board. You're bettering your credit, you're sharing the message, and you have other people who are sharing and spreading that message as well. So it compounds in money as well as in team leverage income.
All right, guys. So listen, this was the MyCredit system. If you're interested at all in learning this presentation, it is document 411 and the talking points are 412 in the document center. Okay, so I wanted to reference those, document 411 and 412. Take full advantage of everything that MyEcon and the MyCredit system has to offer. Okay, so we also wanted to just talk about how we're growing our team using the MyCredit system. Okay, because again, it's a hot topic, it's a hot trend. Everybody is wanting that thing right now. So you want to make sure that within your team, you're doing things that are duplicatable. Okay, if you notice one thing about the MyEcon system, everything that we do is duplicatable. Okay, the presentations are all in your back office to where we can all be on the exact same page when we're presenting. Okay, we use the same presentation videos, we plug into the same conference calls. So you want to do things that's duplicatable so that when you are bringing on affiliates, business partners, they feel comfortable actually presenting this thing to other people. Okay, one of the things that we've been doing to grow our team is what's called the 5-day credit challenge. See, those 5 factors that we just broke down, you do a 5-day credit challenge, 1 day dedicated to each of those 5 factors, and then you give them a homework assignment or something that they do at the end of this day. Do a nice educational video about 15 to 20 minutes long, and funnel everybody into a private Facebook group. Now, where did we get this idea? From Mr. June Collier himself. Okay, you can look up the 5-day credit repair challenge on Facebook, and all you have to do is within that group, watch the videos that he did for each of the 5 days. And then your homework assignment on this training is to duplicate those videos. Take some notes, study them, and duplicate those videos so that you can launch your own credit repair challenge. Okay, people love free information, people love free content. Funnel them into a private Facebook group for your 5-day credit challenge and watch what happens in your organization.
Absolutely. And when you have your team funneling people into their 5-day credit challenge,
Yes.
those who may not be comfortable enough with themselves, guess what? You're feeding the pipeline. And as people go through those days, not only are they getting value, by day 5, it's like, if I've received all of this for free, it only makes sense to get access to the full-fledged MyCredit system, because that's what day 5 is all about. We talk about the 5th factor, but we also incorporate how them becoming an affiliate can benefit them as well. And they've already gone through a process, so they know the power. They're already probably inviting people to their group because of the value that they're getting, so it only makes sense. Why not become an affiliate and get access to the full system, which includes the letters as well. So understand the power in the 5-day credit challenge. Another thing I'm gonna throw out there, just so you can understand a different angle that you can take to build using the credit system. And the credit system does by no means replace the income membership, right, but it is a great way, because once they get exposed to it, they are now naturally introduced to income shifting and the debt elimination calculator, and they realize, you know what, this is bigger than just credit, even though credit was the thing I was interested in. But you got to understand, in business, you're solving a problem. Anything as it relates to business, you're solving a problem or filling a void. So think about it. What's the problem that you're solving with the MyCredit system? For one, many people are interested in credit, and a lot of people are interested in doing it themselves. We live in a DIY time frame to where people are searching and researching and looking at YouTube videos trying to figure it all out. Well, we save them time by introducing them to the MyCredit system. But I'm gonna take it a step further. I've polled quite a few different credit specialists, people who are already fixing credit for people or referring people to a credit system where somebody else fixes the credit for them, and many of them do not have a DIY platform. And what none of them have is leverage DIY credit system. So I brought on a couple of credit specialists just because they were lacking a DIY system, and they definitely didn't have one that allowed them to earn leverage income. So I'm filling the void, solving their problem using the tool that we all have, which is the MyCredit system. Just something else for you to consider in your marketing of MyEcon as a whole, as well as the MyCredit system.
Yes, most definitely, you guys. So look, that sums up our presentation over the MyCredit system. We hope that you enjoyed this. We absolutely love MyEcon and all that MyEcon has to offer. So make sure you're taking action. I hope you took a ton of notes. Take action. Take full advantage of everything that MyEcon has to offer so that you can take your income to the next level. That's all we got.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Signing out.
out.
Wow, was that not powerful, ladies and gentlemen? The Smiths are an unstoppable duo, and we are so honored to have them as business partners here in MyEcon. They are really taking advantage of the 5-day credit challenge. I love the advice and the tip that FICO gave about targeting other credit repair experts to give them another tool in their arsenal as they go out and do business. And they are proving that the MyCredit system is helping them build their team. So we're really proud of these two. They've done a great job in MyEcon, and there's more to see, more to come from the Smiths. All right, it's time to shake things up a bit and bring forth a young lady who has not been in the business as long as the speakers that you've seen thus far. But this young lady has started making waves that are catching the attention of many around her. You know, she applied all the income strategies that MyEcon teaches, including the